All right, build the fence. It's pretty obvious. You have 300,000 successful crossings every year, and another 300,000 people who are sent back. Of course, among these that are sent back, they cross again. Right? 50% isn't good enough. You got to build a fence. Not only will the fence will stop these 300,000 from coming in, but it'll stop the drugs from coming across, and it'll stop the illegal trafficking of children. Then we get a real count of how many people are actually in the United States, right? Have the illegals actually register to stay or go, whichever way they decide. These people were invited here, right? They were invited by Ronald Reagan. They were invited by open borders. They were invited by employers. They were invited by relatives and friends to say, yeah, you can come over here because everybody else is. Because everybody says, hey, it's okay to hire illegals, right? Well, illegals are actually costing people their jobs. There's no doubt about that, all right? Illegals are costing people money and jobs because they are brought here in order to subsidize where employers don't want to pay more. If you got an option to work at McDonald's for $7.50 an hour or a field for $7.50 an hour, you're going to take the McDonald's option. If you got an option of being on welfare for $1,000 a month and working in a field for $7.50 an hour, you're going to take the welfare option. All right? So if you register these people and you close the border, right, then you give them an incentive to leave. Now, this is the hard part for many Republicans to understand. All right? These people came because they were invited, regardless of by whom. They're here. If you give them incentive to leave, then you can send them back to their own home country, El Salvador. 1/3 of the male population of El Salvador is in the United States. Their sons and daughters are growing up without parents. These guys are only here to make money and go home. They owe a debt to coyotes, right? And they're sending money back each month to their family to pay off their debt and to give their family a little money to live on. If you send these people back with a little money in your pocket, it would be like investing in El Salvador from the ground up, right? You close the border, you send them back, then you give them an opportunity to make something out of themselves in their own country. Don't give it to the governments, give it to the individuals to go home. Don't think of it as a reward for coming to the United States because, again, they were invited here. Think of it as an incentive to leave because you're going to save money. How much does it cost to pursue, to arrest, to process, to house, and then to take to court just to release them? Because after you take them to court the first time, you're going to release them with another court date to start the whole thing over again, right? Because as soon as you release them, they're going to move and they're going to go somewhere else and find another job in the U.S. that somebody in the U.S. ain't doing because it's not paying enough. So you can get them to go home or to register. Once you see how many there are, then you put together a plan that says these persons can stay under these conditions, these persons have to go under these conditions, right? Read AROR. It's more explanatory under there because I'm not much of a speech giver.